And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. Now, if you're like me, you probably made some New Year's resolutions. And if you're like me, you probably dropped them already. But there's a new way for you to pick up those resolutions again and become successful. But it involves a death clock? And joining us on The Factor Uncensored tonight, we have our guest, Brent Franson, who is the founder of Death Clock. We want to thank you for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored. First of all, let's establish what the hell is a death clock, Brent?
Yeah, so Death Clock is an app. You answer 29 questions, and we've trained a proprietary AI on 1,200 longevity studies to then predict the day you're going to die. It'll also tell you how much longer you can live if you're healthier.
I don't know if I want to predict the day I die. Can you just kind of skip that and use the app for other things?
I guess you could close your eyes during that section if you wanted to.
But a lot of people are curious because they want to live a healthier life. Now, it's the beginning of the new year, and at this time, I find it difficult to get into my gym because there are a lot of new people. But then by February, March, many of them disappear. How do you prevent becoming one of those people when you make that resolution, you stay with it and just don't drop off after a month or two?
Yeah, so one thing is, though, if you do drop off, you just want to remind yourself tomorrow's a new day and you want to get back onto the horse. But more practically, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you do something like have an accountability partner. So set up a weekly coffee with somebody who you share your goals with, and then maintain that weekly coffee. It can be 15 minutes, it can be a Zoom, where you're reviewing whether or not you're making track on your goals. And that person can help remind you and hold up a mirror saying, hey, you said you were going to be in the gym in February. You did a good job in January. Let's get back on it and keep going in February. So accountability partners can be really helpful.
Absolutely. And then when someone tells you that they are seeing results, that motivates you more to get back into that gym. And I would assume, how do you avoid the pitfalls to destroying your resolution in 2025?
So you just want to make everything related to achieving your goals a little bit simpler. So let's say, so you can try a technique like habit stacking. So let's say that you want to start meditating every day. You want to find a habit that you already do automatically. So let's say you brush your teeth, no problem, every morning, first thing when you wake up, and you can't stand starting your day without brushing your teeth. All right, you're going to meditate right before you brush your teeth, and you're not allowed to brush your teeth to do that thing that you're already in the habit of doing until you meditate. So you want to attach the new habit to something that you already do. Another thing that you can do is if you're working out, if you want to work out first thing in the morning, set out all of your workout gear right in your bedroom ready to go the night before, so there's no friction to getting out of your bed and into your workout. So there's a whole bunch of
Call it
tricks you can use
friction.
to
I
make it
call
easier.
it an excuse to stay home.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
But that would help get you motivated. The clothes are already there, laid out for you. Now, one of the things, how do you stay on track with a healthier lifestyle in 2025?
So the main things that you want to do, and you can do this on Death Clock and you can do it in other ways. So number one is you want to know what your biomarkers are. So you want to be educated. So like for us, men are most likely to die of heart disease, and a lot of women are dying of heart disease as well. So you want to know, what is your cholesterol level? What is your blood pressure? What is your blood sugar, your blood glucose? And you're going to want to know whether you're in range in a healthy place or whether you're out of range. For things where you're out of range, there's a whole bunch of lifestyle changes, medications, et cetera, that you can use to improve those. But you want to be really aware of your biomarkers,
Mhm.
so that you don't die of heart disease.
Absolutely. And should you visit your primary care physician before you start working out to make sure that you may not have, that you may have, if you have pre-existing medical condition that could cause a problem? Do you advise people to see your doctor first before you start working out, or just take baby steps and eventually get to your doctor?
For something like working out, you don't necessarily need to see your primary care physician. Every person's going to know their own situation. So if you're in a particularly acute situation or you've got some complicated health issue, then maybe you will. But I think the key is listening to your body, right? So let's say something like strength training. If you're starting to lift weights, you want to pay attention. If somebody says, hey, you're going to do 4 sets of 10 reps of bench press, and if it starts to hurt and the bench press is wobbling after the second set, okay, that's enough for today. Listen to your body, kind of honor what your body is telling you. And then consistency is more important than intensity.
And we want to thank you for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored.